I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Damola Adamolekun. He is the CEO of PF Chang's. Damola, it is wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, well now I am super excited to talk with you and of course to showcase this amazing meal that is here on our table.
Good.
But before we do that, just a quick note to our viewers. This interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. All right, so Damola, you recently opened your flagship restaurant in Union Square. Tell me about that.
We did, and we're very excited about it. You know, I'm a long-term New York resident. I lived here for about 6 years. So it was a point of personal pride to me to be able to open the restaurant in Union Square. It's a thriving neighborhood. It's an area that we wanted to be. We found a great location. We actually signed it in the middle of COVID, so we had a lot of faith in New York City and that it would be coming back to the greatness that it is now. And it opened in December. We had a wonderful VIP party to welcome everybody to PF Chang's in New York City, and it's been doing great, and we're very excited to be here.
So talk to me about how you've invested in the business and in technology.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when we bought the business in the beginning of 2019, the key part of our thesis was that we had a great iconic brand. We can make some investments in the customer experience and in technology to take it to the next level, right? So the technology investments include things like our digital investments, so the website, the app, being able to order online and get delivery, and then what I call infrastructure investments, so things that make our people more efficient, right? So back-end investments in the kitchen to help us manage inventory better, investments in our host stand so that we can know how long a guest is going to need to wait for a table and quote them accurately. So investments throughout the system to make us better, to make us more efficient, to help our customer experience and overall make the company a better brand.
All right, so what can customers expect when they walk into a PF Chang's?
As wonderful as the food in front of me is, you can expect more than just great food. That's the number one thing. So the food was very good when we bought the company, and we haven't changed anything. The lettuce wraps have been on the menu for 30 years.
Yes, and definitely one of my favorites.
And are fantastic, and we bought it with no intention to touch them, right? They're exactly as they've been.
Good move.
Now what we've added though is the ambiance around the food, right? So great food is necessary and was what people want, but in addition to that, they want to have a great time. So it's lighting, it's music, it's ambiance, it's everything around the experience so you can have a great time with your friends, you can come celebrate with us, in addition to having a wonderful meal. So that's really it, you know, and we're pleased to say that the customers reacted really positively. We've remodeled 80% of our restaurants at this point since we bought the company 4 years ago. So now we have the new decor, including in Union Square, and our social scores have gone up when we bought the business from about 3.6 to 4.4 in the last month. So that's a meaningful increase, and people reacting to these investments we've made, and it's why we bought the business, and we're very excited to see that progress.
And what are you seeing in the state of the industry? What are we expecting here? What do we see?
You know, there's been a lot of waiting for the next shoe to drop, right? I'd say that, you know, obviously we had some very sharp stops and starts in the economy overall, which led to a lot of inflation last year. The inflation started to come down as the Fed has taken action on interest rates. The trade-off, of course, is that the economy slows down with higher interest rates. And so the consumer spending has been high, so we haven't seen, for example, lower spending in our restaurants. Our restaurants continue to do very well, but I think the concern is a lot of that spending is being funded by credit and by savings from COVID stimulus. And the big question the industry is asking is, when does all of that run out? And when does the consumer start to feel the pinch of their savings balance is now run down from the COVID levels? They can't take any more credit, and what happens at that point? So I think there's a lot of questions about what happens later on in the year from an industry and from a macro perspective. But for right now, the consumer is still strong. Unemployment's still very low. People can still get a great job, and wages are increasing. So we're in an okay place, but we got to wait to see what happens in the rest of the year.
Okay, all right. Well, talk to me about what we have here. I mean, I wish there was smell-o-vision because the smell and it's so delicious.
You should see when you walk into our restaurants. I spend a lot of time in our restaurants, and every time it's still the wonderful smell when you walk in. So absolutely.
So you do have the lettuce wraps. I see.
We do. We've got some of our favorites here, right? So we've got some of the classics. We've got our Mongolian Beef, which is our #1 selling entree, and it's a very popular dish around the world. We have our Chang spicy chicken, which is another classic that's been on the menu for 30 years and is beloved, throughout, and we wouldn't dare change the recipe. We've got our combination fried rice, and then we've got, of course, our Chang's, chicken lettuce wraps, right? This is the #1 selling dish in the country.
Wow.
And has been since really we opened the restaurants 30 years ago.
Amazing.
So it's amazing food, and then once you're done eating and you think you're full, then we
have dessert.
We show up with dessert, and we've got the Great Wall of Chocolate here. It's called the Great Wall for obvious reasons, given how large the dessert is.
Definitely a great wall.
But it's, again, we want to really make a statement with the food. We want it to show up and really make an impression. It's delicious, but also it's fun and it's entertaining and it's theatrical.
Yes.
And that's, we call it theater at the table. So enjoy the food, but also have fun and enjoy the experience while you're there as well.
All right, well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to enjoy the food.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
Let's dig in. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining me.
I appreciate it.